What up, though? Welcome to another edition of The Unfinished Project. I'm your host, Meech, and today I'm flying solo. Reach is not here today. She will be here next time. What's up, y'all? I hope everybody is having an amazing day, or what's left of the day. It's a little late. But what's up, y'all? So, today I want to talk about something I've been thinking about kind of all day. Um, The topic is when the doctor has the flu. When a doctor has the flu. So, what I mean by that is it's really based around natural born leaders. Um, some people are just leaders naturally. People just attract to you. You just automatically end up with the tribe no matter where you go, work, school, out somewhere, your home life. You just have lots of people who you lead. And lots can just depend on anybody. Lots for you might be 10, lots for somebody else might be 10,000. Um, but being a leader is something that's natural born. It's something you can work on, but I just believe it's something that's natural that comes to you, that people just cling to you, that people just come to you for advice, that people just trust, you to make the decisions. And, it's a gift and a curse, definitely. But one thing about leadership is when you lead, and that's on whatever platform you have, if you're someone's boss at work, if you're a coach, if you're a pastor, if you are the alpha out of you and your friends, if you lead, you find yourself a lot of times giving away virtue. And what I mean by giving away virtue is just giving of yourself, giving of your time, giving of your resources, giving of your energy. Again, your advice, your wisdom is giving, it's giving. And while giving is gratifying, giving can also be draining at times because as a leader, people they just come to you. They rarely think like, oh, maybe 10 other people have come to her today or this week, or him today or this week. I just need this now. And as a leader, you just give it naturally. You know what I mean? You just like, how can I help you? How can I help you? You can usually multitask. You just, giving it and they just taking it. But it can get draining. It can get to a point where it's just like you feel absolutely depleted. Like, okay, I've given everything to everybody. One thing about it is when you are such a giver, a lot of times you feel like people don't pour back. And not even to say people always don't pour back. Sometimes people don't pour back on the level that you need them to. So like if you are an achiever, you're a business owner, you are whatever your leadership role is, you may have given advice to your friend on how they can get to their next level, which is closer to your level. And you may have talked this person about this, and you may have mentored this person, and, all this. And then you find yourself in need of some advice. You find yourself in need of a shoulder. You find yourself in need of just someone to pour into you. And a lot of times, people think that we're so strong. Oh, she don't need it, And I know this only from experience because I'm one of these people. I am a leader, like I have lots of friends. I have people that I mentor to. I mean, we don't officially call it mentorship, but like on a mental level, on a spiritual level. And, I just have lots of people pulling. Lots of people pulling. I love it. Don't ever get me wrong. I love, love, love it. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this if I didn't love it. I love it. But there are times like, bruh, this is a lot, like where it just feels like you're putting out fires left and right and none of them are your own. You know what I mean? But people think, oh, she's strong. She doesn't need it, you know. But I know that I'm a leader for a reason, you know, like I believe that I am this way naturally and that people who are like this are this way naturally for a reason. Like I love the fact that people can confide in me. I love that people just naturally attract to me. Like I love it. It's a big part of who I am. If it were to ever change, I wouldn't like it. Like I really love being this way, but I mean, there are times when I just feel like, for me, I can give to my own detriment. It's something that I've been working on for like, I can't even put a time on it. It's something I've been working on forever, and I've gotten better over time. But being truthful, like there are still times where I have to like pull myself back because I'll just give, and I won't even realize until it's already too late, and now I'm irritated, I'm agitated, I'm pissed off for no specific reason. My energy feels low, like it's harder to do things that normally are like that. What's another sign that I'm giving too much? Low energy, irritability. I mean, when I say low energy though, I mean like absolutely no will to do anything. And I am not a lazy person at all. Like I am far, far from a lazy person. Like I will work as much as I have to. I will grind, I will hustle, I will still hang out with my friends. I will call and check on I'm just an on-go person. So when I feel myself like wearing down and I'm like, okay, I might have too much on my plate. Like literally, my plate is already full. And then if I love you, I'll just take your problems on as my own. You don't even have to ask me to. I'm going to try to find a way to help you too. So sometimes I find my plate literally just running over with obligations, responsibilities. And I am just like, I start to feel anxious. Like, how am I ever going to get all this done? And it's not a good place to be because then I start to give from a place that's not genuine. Then I start to give from a place that's like tainted, I want to always give from like the best part of my heart. But when I'm giving more than I have, and I mean more than I have mentally, more than I have financially, spiritually, emotionally, when I'm giving out more than I have, I mean, it always shows up. It shows up as anxiety. Like just an overwhelming feeling of I have more to do. Like it's like I can never put a dent in everything that has to be done. It's like trying to make everything come together for everybody, trying to please everybody, because that's another part of it too. I don't know if this is, the case for everyone, but me, myself, I can be a people pleaser. On top of being a leader, on top of naturally attracting people, I can also be a people pleaser, which is very hard to admit. But I want to see people happy, especially people I love. Like, I want to see you happy. Like, but it shows itself in other areas of my life. Like, it also ties in with my perfectionist mindset. So if I'm a perfectionist and I take on other people's problems and I'm a people pleaser, that could leave anybody anxious because now I'm trying to make sure you're happy in a perfect way, you and everybody else, like, which is impossible. Sometimes I find myself literally on Mission Impossible because the truth of the matter is that you can't make everybody happy. The truth of the matter is that you can't fight people's battles for them. I can be there with you. I can, I can tell you what I know. I can support you, but I can't fight the battle for you. And that's kind of where my disconnect comes in, because when it comes to the people I love, I want to get on the battlefield and fight your battle for you, which is unhealthy for you and for me because it's not my battle to fight, one. And number two, I'm robbing you of a life experience. I'm robbing you of a life lesson. I'm robbing you of an experience that you need for yourself. And that if I fight it for you, you'll never have the tools, you'll never have the strength, you'll never have the wisdom to fight it on your own because something similar will come back. Now, it all sounds good right now, but when I'm in the midst of it and life is happening and things are being thrown at me and I'm just fight or flight, and then I'm ready to fight for everybody. But it can really be draining. I know recently, I just felt really overwhelmed with, it was just so much, like with work. Work is cool, but work is new. So I'm learning a lot there. And so I feel the urge to perform, which is never anything I've shied from. Like, I enjoy having a challenge. I enjoy things being slightly difficult for me because I like to learn new things. I like to master things. Mastery is something I truly enjoy. But it is also, in and of itself, it's challenging. So, and it's day to day. So I have that. I have things going on in my family life. I'm trying to put out fires there. I have things going on in my own personal life that nobody really knows about, because when you are this person, rarely do people ask you and truly want to know how you're doing. Rarely do people come to your rescue. Like, I am Captain Save 'em, but there are few times and few people who actually will swoop in and save my day. And I know who my people are, but I ain't got that many. Probably count on 2-3 fingers who's gonna swoop in and save my day. But yeah, so I have things going on in my own personal life, being there for other people I love, friends, family, acquaintance, whatever, still that obligation of being a friend, of all that. And just this week, I won't even say this week, today and yesterday, it just felt absolutely heavy. Like, I just was carrying too much. And then to look at it all, like when you really look at your problems subjectively, like, and you step outside of them, which is not always easy to do, but it is something I'm good at, is to step outside of something, outside of myself, and look at things from a different point of view. So I'm stepping outside of all of this and looking at all of it. Maybe 25% of it is mine. The other 75% is not mine. So I am stressed out, anxious, feeling all these feelings toward things that aren't even mine. I've just packed them onto myself and made me the responsible carrier. And more likely than not, the people who the burden really belongs to, they fine. They somewhere living their best life because I'm carrying their problems. They good. What they need to be worried about. Because if I got it, then it's good as God. And I just, I was really sitting with that today and thinking to myself, like, no, Brittany, no. And so when I get to these points, when I've given too much and I still have more I'm supposed to be giving, and I just feel completely overwhelmed and anxious, I have to, and what I would suggest anybody to do is take a step back. Take the step back, one, to assess what's really going on, because it may not be as heavy as it feels when you look at it without emotion, and when you look at it without being in a mindset of trying to fix or trying to do. Sometimes you have to, like my friend Jazz told me, like, stop doing and just be. Sometimes you have to stop doing, And so to take that step back, to one, look at everything. And two, you might really need to take a step back. And what I mean by that is you might have to, this is not a word, unobligate yourself. You might have to step away from all of your obligations, even if just for a moment. Like, we have this fear that if we don't fix it, it won't get fixed, but that's not necessarily true. Truthfully, if you, as the person who carries all these people, were to, God forbid, die tomorrow, they would all find a way to go on. They'd have to. They would all find a way to go on. Everything that you think needs your attention and your hands on it would find a way to work without you. The world would keep spinning. And I say that to say that sometimes you have to take a step back, even if it's a temporary step back. You have to take a step back in self-love, because over-obligating yourself and running yourself till you are absolutely dry does not benefit anyone, because you can't pour from an empty well. So if I'm trying to pour into you, but I have nothing to pour, and I'm still trying to pour anyway, what am I pouring? what am I pouring? And then that's when you begin to give from a place that isn't blessed. You begin to give from a place that isn't true. You can't give what you don't have. And some of us do that. We give emotionally. I've done that in relationships. I've been absolutely at zero, and this person was not pouring back into me. I didn't realize until I had poured everything I had into this person. And I'm like, I'm on about 15%. This person, they on about 112. Like, you got all my percents, you got your percents. I need you to pour back, So I say take a step back. Like, take a step back from your obligations. A week won't hurt you. A day won't hurt you. A month will not hurt you. Like, sometimes and it's selfish. Like, it seems selfish, but anybody who loves you and anybody who also takes care of themselves won't see it as selfish. But I have had times where I have put everybody on notice in my life. Like, hey, I love y'all, but I know every obligation I have. I know I go, I do this with you and gym with you, and I hang out with you on Tuesdays, and I see you this day, and I help you with this, and I said I'd do this for you. Hey, everybody, for the next 30 days, I'm not available. Don't ask me for nothing. Anything I said I was doing, I'm sorry. I cannot do it. And it's literally in self-love. You know what I mean? In the name of self-love. And I have never had anyone like bite back at me or clap back at me or like treat me like I owe them something, because anybody in my life, they know like the person I am for you, I am probably 10 times that person for somebody else. And they know that I have all these people in my life who I like literally love. Like, I have a huge family. I have lots of friends. I have like all these people that I love, but I can't spread Brittany so thin that there's no Brittany left for Brittany, like, and that happens. And when it does, I take my step back and I'm just like, nope, not going out this weekend. Nope. And I cancel plans and I cancel obligations, lay to death, not going to the gym with you this week, girl. I just can't, you know what I mean? So I suggest you take that step back. Like, literally take a step back in love, because self-care is everything. Self-care is literally everything. It's very cliche, but you hear people say it all the time. Like, if you were on a plane that was crashing and you was trying to help somebody with their mask, they tell you put your mask on first before you save anybody. Because if I'm trying to save you first and me last, we both gonna die. And that is so true for like giving of yourself, of your time, of your energy, of your resources. It's true in that sense too. You have to take care of you first, because as a leader or as someone who people look to in any environment, in any setting, a lot of times if you don't take care of yourself, it won't happen. Because like I said before, people look at you like, oh, she's strong. Oh, she's good. And people assume because you take such good care of other people that you got to have you. But, that's a lot of times not a good assumption. So if you don't take care of you, it may not happen. And you don't want to run out of gas before you reach your destination, because there is purpose to who you are. There's purpose in the reason why you are the way you are. But it is possible at the same time to run out of gas before you get there. You don't want to do that. You don't want to feel so depleted it turns into depression. You don't want to feel like you've given so much that you begin to feel used, or, you start to harden your heart or change who you are. These are things that can happen over time if you aren't taking care of yourself and pouring back into you, even if no one else does. And another thing about pouring back into yourself is it teaches the people around you how to treat you. You know what I mean? It teaches them to respect your space. It teaches them to respect your time. Sometimes you have to ask people, like literally my best friend, Rish, she's the person like I go to. Like, she is my like, I'm here to like dump all of my stuff on you. But sometimes I'll ask her like, are you good? Like, where you at? Like, are you good emotionally? Are you good mentally before I dump on you? That is like a respective space. That's me telling her, like, I respect you enough to not just assume that you're good and assume that you can handle me and all my baggage. Not even for her to fix it, just for her to listen, because she's my listener, but people will learn to respect your space. People will learn to respect your boundaries. And even when you have those times where you're just like, no, nobody will take it in a way that's personal. Nobody will take it as any judge against your character, because they know that it's a part of the way that you love yourself. And it just teaches people how to treat you. And maybe they'll begin to pour back as well, or find ways that you would like to be poured back into, because the way we pour out is not always the way we want to be poured back, or not always to the same degree. Like, me listening to you, for me, that could equate to support another way. You coming and showing up to something, one of my events, or listening to my podcast, it's different, but it could equate, because pouring in is different for everybody. Yeah. It's different for everybody. So I suggest, if you feel like the doctor that has the flu. The reason I call it that is when the doctor has the flu, because, like, where does the doctor go when he's sick? Sometimes when you need the very thing you give, you find yourself with nowhere to go. And that is where you reflect back inward, if nothing else. And hopefully you have a tribe where iron sharpens iron. And the people around you can read your energy, and the people around you can tell when you need it, because my people can tell. They know when I'm just like, and my best friend will be like, you're doing too much for people. You need to worry about yourself right now, And so you need those people sometimes. You definitely need them, So hopefully you have a circle where they can read you and they know what you want, and they can give it to you before you even ask. But if not, I suggest that you take a step back in love, not coming from any type of malicious place, but you take your step back to just see exactly what's going on, and then take your step back, if you need it, even further step back away from the obligations, to pour into yourself and do those simple things. Because self-love for me is like, it's different for everybody, but for me, it's like time spent alone. It's writing, having time to write, that's really dope to me. I love doing things alone. Everybody's not like that, but as much time as I spend with other people, because I really do enjoy being around people, as much time as I spend with other people, I equally enjoy spending time alone. But yeah, like, a lot of my self-love stuff is take myself on a date, like go to dinner, or go to the bar and grab like a beer alone, or go see a movie alone. Like, I really look forward to things like that. So whatever it is for you, spa day, shopping, whatever that looks like, take that time just to love on yourself. We have to be nicer to ourselves. And as much as you pour into other people, because you could be a mom, you could be a dad, you could be a teacher, a business owner, somebody's boss, leader of an organization. People look to you, and people just expect you to be okay. And it's okay to not be okay sometimes. And it's also okay to take a little bit of time to take care of yourself, so that you have what you need to keep pushing forward. You have what you need to keep walking in your purpose. You have what you need to keep pouring into people, because I know if you're like me, you love it. I know if you're like me, you will be who you are to the day you die, and the dream is really to find a way to even be that amplified. So this is like a skill. This is something we want to have in the tool belt. I know I do. I want to have a great balance between, like, harmony almost, helping others, and being nice to myself and loving myself and pouring into me as much as I pour into other people. And I always wanted to be something that's harmonious. I always wanted to be something that's there. I don't want to ever run and do and forget about me, So Like I always tell you, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. I needed to hear every last one of these words. So I hope it was good for y'all. Please comment. I really invite you to listen to our other podcast episodes. They feature both me and Marisha. We have more episodes coming. We are available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and others. I'm really excited about being available on Apple Music. We are still waiting to be approved. It'll be a few more days, but I am so excited. We'll be available on YouTube soon. We do have a Facebook page, The Unfinished Project. Follow me on Instagram at The Meech Show. That's at TheMeechShow. Thank you so much for listening. I do want to know what you guys think. So comment. I'll comment back. And yeah, share this video or this podcast wherever you have found it. And I appreciate you so much just for listening. And I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.